Do you still make music? Is that anything that you... And sorry if you released something recently and I didn't hear it. I'm a big fan of Come Clean. So,
No,
but do you still do music, or that's not something that you do anymore?
It's not something that I have done in a minute. I do want to. It's a question that I get asked all the time, and since I live with my husband, who's a very talented musician, they're always like, well, what would be so hard? Like, put your kids to bed and get into the studio.
Yeah, crank out an album.
I know, and I'm like, and someone's like, well, she can film an entire TV series, but you can't make a record. I'm like, to be honest, it's also like a totally like new landscape, like the music industry. Since even my last record, I was like, oh, this is, sorry, now I'm just really hot in here.
That means the conversation's going well.
I think that I will. I don't know. Right now I barely have enough time to like give to my 3 children that I decided to bring into the world. So taking more time away from them seems like something I couldn't really wrap my head around, but I miss that version of myself, and I definitely think that I have more to do in that department. I just don't know when.
What is it like? Because I feel like music is sort of like the ultimate level of not fame, but it's universal, right? It elicits a feeling. You don't have to speak the language natively. It just, music travels the whole world. So like when you were doing music, was that a whole different trip than like the celebrity of TV and movies?
Oh my God, yes. And I think that also subconsciously comes into play of like, do I really want that life again? I can go about my day. Of course, I'm recognized most places I go. You know, I deal with paparazzi, but like I go grocery shopping and I go to my kids' schools nonstop, and I'm taking them to gymnastics and dance class and soccer, and, you know, going out to dinner with friends. Like I live a life like fully, you know. I can go to like a workout class, and I couldn't do that when I was doing music. Like it's just a very isolating, like your level of fame is just kind of like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because you're just on stage singing to all these people, and you're in that town, and everyone's, you know, knows you're there. And so you're just, like, it's just, I don't know. I was very, very lonely at that time. And not that I have a family of my own now, but, like, I don't know if I want that again. Or if I could even have it. But, like, it is scary.
And are you, when you're going into towns, like, are there people waiting at the hotel and waiting at the venue?
Yeah.
And, right. So you really, there's no getting away from it.
No. My husband and I recently just went for like a little getaway to Mexico City, and it was so nice, and I love it there. But I also did a lot of touring there.
Yeah.
And so by the time we were there for like a day and a half, people had like figured out where I was staying, and all hours of the night would be like singing my songs in the street below our hotel room. And I was like,
wow.
Oh, well, we're here alone, so I don't know how to... I guess the 4 miles walking that we would do and like pop into this restaurant and do this cute little thing is kind of over till we go home.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So...
But it doesn't, I mean, part of it sucks, and then other parts of it's like so nice, and, you know, people love me.
Billy Joel reminding us that he has 9,000 songs
Before
any of the hits.
Yeah.
He would say, like, he would come on, he'd be like, so from this 1970s album that none of you bought, here's a random song. And we're all just
I don't know if I would do that to people. I think I would like open with a beloved banger.
Yeah. Are you a fan of anything, like that big of a fan?
I mean, I loved Britney Spears, obviously. Like the whole reason I started singing was because I loved Britney Spears. They didn't want to sign me right away at Hollywood Records, and obviously that was like the first place that we decided to go. And then like Rob Cavallo and Bob Cavallo, like these people that ran Hollywood Records, they're like a son and dad duo, and they jumped on board, and then I like started making a record. So it wasn't like they were like, let's just juice this for what we can. Like, it was my idea. I wanted to sing. I really didn't want to be Lizzie McGuire anymore. You know, I was like, how do I not like, as cool as it was, you know how that flip happens so fast. Like, I wonder actually, because Josh is like your name, like, we've never talked about that, but like for so long, people were just like Lizzie, Lizzie, Lizzie. And still now to this day, which it doesn't bother me anymore, but it did for a while. Like, I just desperately needed to be my own person, you know? And I think that I thought music was going to be a good way to like introduce myself.
And what?
Reintroduce myself. And it was.
Yeah. And when...
And so they jumped on board for that, and you know, it was a very like happy relationship.